Broadcasting from the ARN Racing Studios in Southern California, a turn for media company, ARN Los Angeles. This is ARN, the American Racing Network, the Motorsports Authority. Now,
drivers, start your engine!
You're shifting gears on ARN with Alan Bailey.
Well, there goes the neighborhood.
You name it, we got it. NASCAR.
He's going to do it. He's going to win the race and the NASCAR Sprint Cup Championship. California's Kevin Harvick does it. Holy cow!
IndyCar.
Will Power is an IndyCar champion.
Thank you for calling.
Drag racing.
Jason line red lights and gives it away. Erica Enders becomes the 17th champion in the history of funny car with a hammer down throw run.
Supercross.
Ken rocks it. To the finish line. He wins the season opener here at Angel Stadium.
And so much more. So get ready. You're shifting gears on ARN with Alan Bailey.
That you are. Welcome on in. You're shifting gears right here on ARN. I'm Alan Bailey. I want you to interact with me on this program. You can tweet me at the Alan Bailey, also on Facebook and Instagram as well with that username. You can also use the hashtag ARNRace in order to get in on this conversation as well. I want to hear from you. What is on your mind? What did you think of Daytona, Speed Weeks, everything, all the craziness that went on there? We're going to get into Kyle Busch and everything going on with him. Action-packed show, to say the least. I'll say this, if you're in Atlanta or anywhere near the Atlanta area, I'm extraordinarily jealous of you this weekend. And it's not because, Atlanta's such a great place to live. And I'm not saying it's not. Don't go there with this. I'm just saying you've got NASCAR and, by the way, you've got Supercross in town this weekend. So if you're in Atlanta and you don't know what to do with yourself this weekend and you're a gearhead like I am, get your butt down to the track. You got NASCAR during the day. You got Truck Series going on tonight. You got Xfinity Racing tomorrow. You've got NASCAR Sprint Cup Series action on Sunday. And by the way, Saturday night you've got another round of AMA Supercross going at you. How about Chad Reed? Seriously, how did he do that? How did he pull that off last Saturday? Seriously, because mentally, I've kind of checked out of the Chad Reed fandom zone because Chad Reed, to me, is a guy who is an ambassador for the sport. I'm not saying he's not. He's a spectacular racer. I'm not taking anything away from his racing abilities and everything he's done, but lately, you can't tell me that he's been there because he just simply hasn't. He's been everywhere but right where he needs to be in order to seriously contend for a championship. And is he out of it? No, not by any stretch of the imagination, but he's not in it either. First win in 2015 at Atlanta last weekend, in case you're zoning out or not paying attention to me on this one. And Reed honestly had a pretty good command of that race. He was right there through the whole thing. He was riding spectacularly. I'm not saying that I didn't expect him to win again, but I kind of thought, well, if Chad didn't win another race ever, I really wouldn't be surprised by that. And no, I don't want Chad Reed hate mail. I see what you guys are doing. Don't go there. I'm not turning into the Chad Reed hate them. But no, I want to see Chad Reed honestly go out there and have a good showing for Kawasaki. I really do, and for his race team, 22 Motorsports. But the fact of the matter is, I seriously doubt his physical abilities. Mentally, and we'll have a clip on him later on in the program. But, excuse me, but honestly, you hear Chad talk about just life and everything that's going on. He honestly is in a very good place right now. Very good place. He is the guy who is enjoying life. He's enjoying doing the work aspect of things outside of the racetrack and outside of Saturday night. And honestly, you're getting the sense that on the personal side of things, he's firing on all cylinders, but really on the track, he's not. And something's off. I don't know what it is. I really, really don't. It's one of those things where we're just going to have to wait and see what the rest of Chad's career has. But we'll play a clip a little bit that kind of Chad talking about his life, talking about his race team, and talking about racing in general. And it's very interesting. It's very intimate kind of side to Chad, just him talking about his life. Travis Quaffel's not racing this weekend. in Atlanta with his race team, Team Extreme Racing. Today they withdrew from the track at Atlanta Motor Speedway, that number 44 Chevrolet. Now you're thinking, okay, is it money? That team is struggling a little bit financially. You're thinking, okay, that stinks. They can't afford a race. No, they had a car. It was down at the racetrack, and guess what? It got stolen. Yeah, I mean that literally. They basically took a Ford pickup truck, and a white covered hauler, and they stole it. Somebody stole it from a parking lot at a hotel down there in the Atlanta area. Yeah, I'm not even joking. I really am. Morrow Police Department released a photo. It's up on ARNrace.com of the black Ford pickup, as well as the white covered trailer behind it. And yeah, it was just a simple trailer. If you're thinking, oh, a big NASCAR rig got stolen, no, that's not the case. This was a simple Ford pickup with a cup car in the back. And you gotta think, and Travis kind of tweeted this out as well, and I kind of side with him. Let me look for that tweet here. You gotta think that the thieves honestly didn't know that car was there. You could not have known it was there. They never pulled it out. They never opened it. They never went in there, according to the team. So it wasn't one of those things where, oh, haha, look at me, haha, look what I have. It was something else, unfortunately, and it stinks. It really, really, really stinks. Really stinks a lot. There's no other way to say it. I mean, I can sit here and say, well, you know, oh, they'll get it back and da-da-da, but honestly, we don't know that. I don't know that. They may never get that car back. Hopefully they do, because it's pretty darn expensive. And I truly hope that it does. But Travis, I mean, oh yeah, I really do feel bad for him. I really do. I feel bad for the team, because when you put in that much time and effort and energy into building a car and it gets taken from you like that, boy, honestly, if it gets stolen, that's one thing. I'll seriously deal with it, or if it gets wrecked. If it gets wrecked, I'll deal with it, you know? But seriously, that's just so bad. I truly feel bad for it. Travis Quaffle tweeted these out. It's a black Ford Dolly, white enclosed tag behind the trailer, New Jersey plates, down last night in a Ford Dolly, an enclosed trailer with a race car inside. That was stolen out of a parking lot this morning in Morrow, Georgia. To clarify, Extreme Motorsports Transporter is at Atlanta Motor Speedway. The guys stayed and worked on the car Thursday at the shop in North Carolina. They drove down last night, yeah, I mean, he tweeted it out earlier. Quote, I bet whoever has it opened up the trailer and is going like, oh snap. I'm thinking it's something else entirely. If I'm the guy that is dumb enough, really dumb enough, in order to steal something like that, I'm thinking something else entirely. I'm thinking, oh bleep. I'm not thinking, oh snap. But I mean, this is unreal. It truly is unreal. That was the one crazy NASCAR story today. The second crazy NASCAR story that happened today was the fact that somebody backed into Denny Hamlin's motorhome. Let me repeat that. Somebody backed into Denny Hamlin's motorhome. When I say that, I mean last night, sometime in the night last night, somebody literally had a old 90s Ford SUV, a white Ford SUV. They backed it through a chain link fence, which was really close to Denny's RV, and basically hit the back of hit the side, the left rear of Denny's RV. I don't know if he was in it. He was not hurt. We know that, but I mean, seriously, what the hell is going on in Atlanta this weekend, guys? I mean, seriously. Race cars getting stolen out of parking lots, and apparently people backing into motorhomes. Seriously. Stolen haulers, SUVs, ramming into motorhomes. How's your Friday going? Huh? Another day at the office for me here at ARN. I'm loving it, man. But seriously, I mean, come on. At the Alan Bailey, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, where you could send me stuff like, Alan, are you team... I knew this was coming up. Alan, are you team black and blue or white and gold? Hashtag race chat. Neither. Honestly, and yeah, if you haven't heard, there's a picture of a dress that is either blue or black or white or gold, depending on which photoshopped image is floating around on your particular screen at that exact moment. I've seen both. I've seen pictures of the dress, and I've seen it as both. Somebody photoshopped it on fire saying, ooh, what color is it now? And I just, honestly, who cares? Who cares? I'm not wearing it anytime soon. Why do I care? I don't care. Why do you send me stuff like this? Huh? Why? Seriously, Marshall. Why are you seriously, Marshall? Why are you sending me stuff like this? I don't appreciate this. I really don't. You either, Speedy, I see what you're doing there. Don't do that. I do not appreciate those profane-laced tweets. You're about to get blocked. Seriously, Speedy. Get it together. The phone number 720-600-RACE. That is 720-600-7223. Standard messaging rates do apply. You can also text on that number as well, where I get texts like this. It's from an unknown number. I want to give this person credit. If you texted me this number seriously, please text your name so I can give you credit for this one, because this is pretty good. Alan, any confirmation that Danica was driving that Ford into Denny's hauler? No, I can neither confirm nor deny those rumors, but that was a theory that was floating around. I saw somebody else tweet that out. Yeah, that's a theory that's floating around. No, we don't have any confirmation that it was Denny or that it was Danica Patrick that backed that SUV into Denny's motorhome on this morning out at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Wouldn't that just be full circle? Would that honestly, with the way this crazy Friday went, would it honestly surprise you? Honestly. And I got to do this. I feel I want to. I really do want to. But I want to give a shout out to Travis Rogers. He's a really good friend of mine. I've been working on his morning show here in Los Angeles for the better part of 2 years, a little over 2 years. And I've done a lot of things behind the scenes for him on that show. And I love the guy. Very, very, very cool guy. I first off want to say congratulations, Trav, to your new gig at ESPN LA 710 if you're here in Los Angeles. He's going to be with, I believe Calvin Washington is his name, going to be co-hosting the morning show starting this Monday, 5 in the morning, 5 a.m. local till 7 a.m. local, and then he's going to be doing 7 to 9 on online on ESPNLA.com or whatever the website is, and he's still doing his Yahoo show. I want to say congratulations to him, man, because he's got a really cool gig coming up. The timing worked out perfectly because just he was looking for a new gig, I know that, and he ended up getting a really cool gig. He ended his morning show on KLAA this morning. I've been working with him at KLAA, and honestly, everything was going really great over there, and just unfortunately, this new opportunity arose for him, and he's going to be doing that. So I seriously want to congratulate Travis Rogers. You can tweet him at Travis Rogers on Facebook and Instagram in order to congratulate him. Very, very, very cool deal for him. I love him so much. He's really, really one of the best broadcasters I've ever had the opportunity to work with and work for. And truly, he's going to do great things at ESPN. I wish you all the luck, Trav. Seriously, give him hell up there in LA. And with that, I got to go ahead and take a break here, mostly because I want to get Twitter in order, because I'm getting some interesting tweets from you guys, and I can't read all of them on the air. So I'm going to try to pick out a few here that I like, and we're going to read them on the backside. A couple other things that we're going to get into on the program today. Obviously, we're going to talk about David Ragan jumping in the 18 car. The big question is, can he secure a chase spot? And if he secures a chase spot in that 18 car, what happens? We'll talk about it. Also, How did one driver miss out on substituting for David Reagan at Front Row Motorsports? You're not going to believe this. Regan Smith jumping in the 41 for Kurt Busch. What's the latest on Kurt? We'll give you an update on that. What's going on with his brother Kyle? Had another surgery. When's he going to be heading home? And how long are you talking about realistically before he's back in a Cup car in NASCAR? We'll talk about that. Eric Jones going to be driving for Kyle Busch in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Cool opportunity for him. We'll talk about that. This is an interesting story. Brittany Force trying to get her first victory at the Gator Nationals. We'll talk about that a little bit. Of course, we'll have Chad Reed and his comments about his earlier parts of his career currently. We'll talk about that. And 1 month away, can Will Power actually defend his IndyCar title in 2015 and go back-to-back? We'll talk about the possibility of that. I want to give you the phone number. Please, or use it, and please text in on it as well. It is 720-600-RACE. That is 720-600-7223. Standard messaging rates do apply on that. Also, the Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at The Alan Bailey. Use the hashtag ARN. You're shifting gears right here on ARN. Don't go anywhere.
Sick of bad race coverage or none at all from those other networks? Make ARN your one and only for all things motorsports. ARN, the Motorsports Authority.
Hey guys, it's Alan Bailey, and I wanted to tell you about when I first got started in broadcasting. Something that I tried to do was I tried to build my own website with one of these free website builders, and it was really bad. I ended up spending hours and hours working on this site, and I didn't get it the way I wanted. I hated the colors, I hated the options, I hated everything about it, but I needed a website. So reluctantly, I launched the website, and it wasn't good. I didn't get any business or any traction from it. The website was horrible. In order to put a .com on there, I had to pay all these huge fees and all these hidden fees. Once I got past all the fees, it would have been thousands and thousands of dollars for just a very simple website. So I ended up taking it offline. Fast forward years later, I called Apollo Aesthetics. When I was getting ready to build my personal website, I decided to heck with it. I'll spend the money. And I didn't care how much it was, anticipating spending thousands and thousands of dollars. And then, when I got the quote from Apollo Aesthetics, boy was I shocked, because the price was super, super low. Monthly payments with a low down payment. I gotta tell you, I've had such a pleasant experience. I'm not building any other websites. I've learned my lesson. I'm going straight to Apollo Aesthetics so they can build it right and they can do everything that I need. Whether you're looking to build a website, design a logo, figure out your hosting, your emails, and social media accounts, Apollo Aesthetics can help you with all of these, including building a shop for you to sell your product online. Log on to apolloaesthetics.com to request a quote. That's apolloaesthetics.com.
What is one NASCAR Unites wristband capable of doing? It can inspire a child to go farther in school. It can construct a brand new playground for kids who've never had one. It can introduce a child with a serious illness to his or her favorite NASCAR driver.
I'm Tony Stewart, and I wear my band to Unite for Kids. Band together with me by logging on to www.nascar.com/unites to pledge your support.
Shifting Gears on ARN is powered by Stash Feed. Get the feed. Log on to stashfeed.com to see what you've been missing and get the feed. You're shifting gears on ARN. Here's Alan Bailey.
A lot of you are tweeting about safer barriers in NASCAR. This one coming from Melissa at One Fabulous Fan. How many Cup drivers tweeted about safer barriers last weekend? My answer to you is simple. Put them everywhere. I agree. It might just be that simple. Just put them everywhere. Because it's one of those things where, honestly, if you hit a wall at 200 miles an hour, you're essentially coming to a complete stop because the car is absorbing that energy. And it's one of those things where it's extraordinarily dangerous. Extraordinarily dangerous. And you honestly have to think, why are we doing this? It's 2015. Dale Earnhardt Sr. lost his life 14 years ago because of this very thing. And guess what? The safer barrier came out of it, so we put safer barriers in the corners, which was a good move. It was the right move. But Darrell Waltrip says it. If a race car can get anywhere on the racetrack, if there's a wall anywhere on the racetrack, it'll find a way to hit it. Mark my words. It'll find a way to hit it. If there is an exposed wall on a racetrack, a race car will hit it at some point or another. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. And Jeff Gordon took a very hard hit a number of years ago out in Las Vegas. That opened everybody's eyes, and everybody went, yeah, we're working on it. You look at the wall situation out in Daytona over this last weekend, the same thing. Guess what? Kyle Busch went head first into that wall at near 170, 180 miles an hour, and guess what? Seriously hurt his foot. When are we actually going to figure, you know what? Let's go ahead and fix this. Yeah, let's go ahead and fix this now. It just makes sense. Because honestly, it's one of those things where we have to be progressive. If we wait around and think, well, we'll fix it when it's an issue, then guess what? People are going to die. People are going to get hurt. Kyle Busch got hurt because Daytona International Speedway and International Speedway Corporation decided, yeah, you know what? We're going to save some money. We don't want to invest in the safety of our drivers, the safety of our teams, the safety of the people inside the racetrack, the safety of the people outside the racetrack. So we'll go ahead and we won't fix that wall. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Hey, Daytona International Speedway Corporation, every racetrack in America, guess what? When you wait around and wait for something to become an issue, you have drivers breaking their legs and sitting out a majority of the season because you're cheap. You have catch fences that go unfixed and unmaintained for decades. And then a race car goes through them, including the engine, and sends several people to the hospital, in which case you're going to go ahead and blow what you would have already blown on the fence repair, paying to these families so they never get on the radio and say, International Speedway Corporation crippled me for life. I'm emotionally and physically damaged for life when I went to a NASCAR race because International Speedway Corporation and NASCAR was too cheap and too blindsided in order to fix this. That's a problem. I have a big problem with that. I have a huge problem with racetracks being lazy and not staying ahead of the curve. Daytona International Speedway is decades behind where they should be. Decades. Yeah, they redid the garage area after 50 years, and it looks great, and they're just now getting around to doing the outside of the racetrack. Why did it take you guys, literally, 50 years to upgrade your facilities? Daytona was old. When I'm walking out on Daytona Beach in the grandstand and I'm stepping on wood that's giving away and that is clearly rotted away because of the sea air, maybe, just maybe, you need to actually do some maintenance on your facility. They're finally getting around to replacing all the seats in the nearest area. But honestly, why did it take this long? Why? Seriously, why? It's seriously pathetic. It's a head scratcher, to say the very, very least, and it honestly makes you just want to scream. It makes me want to scream. It's disappointing. It's disgusting. It's something that shouldn't happen, truly, but it's something that does more often than not, and that is extraordinarily depressing, and it's extraordinarily sad, to say the very least. By the way, TMZ just released a video of a surveillance video of the car that got stolen out of a parking lot, a hotel parking lot in Atlanta. Travis Quaffel's number 44 ride stolen from a hotel parking lot. TMZ Sports obtained the surveillance video of the heist. The car and truck hauls were both stolen from the Dury Inn parking lot outside of Atlanta, And in the video, you see a Jeep SUV pull into the parking lot. One person dressed in black gets out of the Jeep, walks across towards the transporter trailer, and the Jeep pulls away. The next thing you see, the white transporter trailer hauled by a black pickup truck tearing across the lot. Law enforcement sources tell us that the grand theft went down around 5 a.m. Friday, and it took less than minutes. So far, the cops have no leads on suspects, but they're hoping that this video will shed some light. Quaffel's team was forced to pull from this weekend's NASCAR Sprint Cup Series race in Atlanta. It's a small independent team. They do not have a backup car. Car owner John Colton told TMZ Sports, quote, "Last night I was thinking I should tell them to block the truck off with another vehicle, but I didn't say anything, and it got stolen." He says that he thinks the crooks knew what they were stealing since there was no identity marks on the trailer. He adds, quote, "I'm hoping they will return it once they see what's inside. What can they do with the race car?" The Sprint Cup Series car, by the way, it's worth about $250,000. Just so you know. And I'm just talking about the raw parts and the engine and the seat and everything that's there physically. When you're talking about the man hours that it went in to put it together, to paint it, to put that engine together, to put everything in there, you're talking about probably closer to $500,000, if not a lot more than that. And for a single car team, this is probably one of 15, if that, cars in their shop. So that's a significant blow to them, obviously. So truly, you can actually log on to my Twitter at @TheAlanBailey in order to check out the video. Honestly, I hope that this sheds some light on the situation. Looking at the video now, it's pretty blurry. It's pretty out of distance, but honestly, if you recognize the Jeep in the vehicle, if you have any information, please call local authorities. It's pretty bad. Yeah, they have a very clear shot of the video of the Jeep, of the driver of the Jeep. So if you recognize the people in this video, you can log on to arnrace.com. The video's there as well, and it's also up on my Twitter at @TheAlanBailey. If you recognize them, if you recognize the car, if you might have seen the car, if you might have seen the people, and you're in the Atlanta area, please contact local authorities. Don't take matters into your own hands. Give it to the authorities. They'll take care of it. Trying to get the suspect, obviously, to give the car back. Hopefully we can see Travis Quaffle out in Las Vegas. This was their primary for Vegas as well, so hopefully they can get a plan B together for Vegas next weekend. We'll give you more information as it becomes available to us. Yeah, look at the video's playing right now. Yeah, they knew obviously what it was. They stole it, and they just ripped out of there. No hesitation, no care gone into it. So honestly, watching how quickly that this person just ripped out of the parking lot, my thought turned to maybe we have to start thinking hopefully they can get this car back in one piece. Because now that's my thought. My thought, based on how quickly this person just peeled out of the parking lot with a trailer attached. Anybody who's ever hauled a trailer or a race car does it with extreme care, because you put a lot of time, a lot of energy into that race car, and the fact of the matter is, some scumbags out there just totally just ruined a lot of hard work. A lot of hard work. Seriously, if you have any information, please contact local authorities. The picture of the truck and trailer is also on arnrace.com if you want to check it out. Also at arnrace on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, a picture of that as well. And also on mine as well, at The Alan Bailey. Plenty of places to go see it. Figure out which one you want to go to first and go to that one. And please check it out. Any information, local authorities. Now, when we get back, want to dive into this because Chad Reed sat down and really talked about his career and talked about everything that's going on with him, and it shed some interesting light on him. I want to play that next, so that's where we'll go when we come back. So do me a big favor. Don't go anywhere. You know why? It's very simple. You're shifting gears right here on ARN. I'm Alan Bailey. The phone number is 720-600-RACE. Also, the Twitter handle, at The Alan Bailey. You can also use the hashtag ARNRACE in order to get in on this conversation. You're shifting gears on ARN. Don't go anywhere.
Wonder what you'll take from me today.
guys, it's Alan Bailey, and I want to...
Take ARN anywhere. Download your favorite ARN programs on iTunes. Keyword search ARN and listen online at arnrace.com.
Hey guys, it's Alan Bailey, and I wanted to tell you about when I first got started in broadcasting. Something that I tried to do was I tried to build my own website with one of these free website builders, and it was really bad. I ended up spending hours and hours working on this site, and I didn't get it the way I wanted. I hated the colors, I hated the options, I hated everything about it, but I needed a website. So reluctantly, I launched the website, and it wasn't good. I didn't get any business or any traction from it. The website was horrible. In order to put a .com on there, I had to pay all these huge fees and all these hidden fees. Once I got past all the fees, it would have been thousands and thousands of dollars for just a very simple website. So I ended up taking it offline. Fast forward years later, I called Apollo Aesthetics. When I was getting ready to build my personal website, I decided to heck with it. I'll spend the money. And I didn't care how much it was, anticipating spending thousands and thousands of dollars. And then, when I got the quote from Apollo Aesthetics, boy was I shocked, because the price was super, super low. Monthly payments with a low down payment. I gotta tell you, I've had such a pleasant experience. I'm not building any other websites. I've learned my lesson. I'm going straight to Apollo Aesthetics so they can build it right and they can do everything that I need. Whether you're looking to build a website, design a logo, figure out your hosting, your emails, and social media accounts, Apollo Aesthetics can help you with all of these, including building a shop for you to sell your product online. Log on to apolloaesthetics.com to request a quote. That's apolloaesthetics.com.
Shifting Gears on ARN is powered by Stash Feed. Get the feed. Log on to stashfeed.com to see what you've been missing and get the feed. You're shifting gears on ARN. Here's Alan Bailey.
So Chad Reed won at Atlanta this last weekend, and honestly, I was surprised by it. I didn't expect to see him go ahead and pick up a win this season, to be perfectly honest. I expected him to get a podium or two, honestly. I didn't expect him to get a main win, so it was a bit of a shock to me. It kind of opened my eyes and said, well, maybe he can still do this. Maybe he still has it in him, even though I honestly think his age is starting to catch up with him when it comes to doing stuff in the race. I think he's a little off in the race. When it comes to doing all the practice stuff and everything outside of the racetrack, I think he's got it. I think he's as best as ever. But on the racetrack, I think you can clearly see he's getting tired. You can clearly see he's not as focused and as intense as he has been in years past. And there was a video that was produced by Chad Reed's bike sponsor that was posted at a number of places. It's on ARNrace.com if you want to go check it out. And Rich Van Every actually sat down with Chad Reed and basically laid it all out and really talked about just everything going on with him personally and where he is at this point in his career and everything moving forward. It's a very interesting, candid little 5-minute interview. Take a listen.
Having the race team and the wife, the 2 kids, you know, a lot of people, no one else, it's just, let's be honest, no one's ever done that. So I think that everybody views this thing as career suicide, you know, and I don't know, you just as an athlete and as a person, you know, I guess I've never been afraid to take the hard route. I mean, when you pack your bags at 18 years old and you know, your parents pretty much tell you, you know, they're going to wipe your hands on you because you're taking your girlfriend, you learn pretty damn fast. I was off the nipple pretty young and lived my life, you know, made my own choices, and some choices I make are not always the easiest ones. But I have a supportive wife that believes that this race team is what is, you know, means the most to us as a family. And working with the group of guys on here, I mean, they're just such a blast. Each and every one of them works so hard. You're just proud of them, you know, like they're not my employees. I don't ever look at them as my employees. They're my family, and I love them, you know, and like family, you got to know when they're tell them that they're doing a good job or they're slacking. And I've never had an issue with that, you know. I can separate my friendship and my love for these guys over the business side of it, you know. And if I think from a business point they're not doing their job, or we need to be better in a key area, we as a team get together and try to resolve it as fast as possible. So it's just weird, you know. Like at 31 years old, I feel like the passion that I have to go racing and the enjoyment that I'm getting out of racing, and you know, the work ethic that it takes in the off season and during the week, it's at an all-time high. Like never is racing easy, but showing up and doing the work is easy right now. It's so fun, and that's what's, I guess, most enjoyable right now, is the fact that you just want to ride that wave, because that's a fun wave to be on, you know. At 25, 22 years old, I just felt like, you know, I was just, you know, you really don't know anything. Like, you look back, and only age can show you, but like I didn't know anything, you know, and I was so, at the time I wasn't unappreciative, but you look back and I didn't get it, you know. Like now you look back and you just think, man, I had it so easy, had nothing to worry about but me and Ellie, no kids, no team, no bills really, and it's funny, you know. Like, you got massive overheads and massive commitments from the home front, and yet it's the best part of my life, you know. I'm just loving doing what I'm doing. You know, the biggest thing about you know, any kind of training, and for us off bike training, is it's always a tool, you know, and you can take it too far sometimes, and I've had my years where cycling's fun. Like, for whatever the reason is, there's no better feeling than going with a group of your best friends and torturing each other, and literally to get stronger and to torture more. It means just dropping a lot of weight, and so there's been years that I've seemed to be focused more on the torture during the week than maintaining strength and strong for the dirt bike on the weekend. So I kind of have a range, you know, where I try not to get below, and but yeah, it's a good time. And so for me, you know, we kind of split up our off season as far as like some mountain biking days and some road bike days, and obviously you know, you achieve two different things out of them. So for us, it's a good time to get out with your friends and kind of, you know, break away from you know, the moto. For me, it's kind of like one side of the country I do one thing, the other side the other. You know, like I love mountain biking in California, and then the road scares me out here because the drivers, there's just way too many of them. And then in Florida, it's a little more low key, and obviously there's no mountains, so the road bike makes a lot more sense. So yeah, it's a good key element to my training. You know, there's just no hiding. Like, on a dirt bike, it's like you can go out and you can kind of throw down a lap or two, but you know, when you get on the bicycle, it comes down to just being in shape, and there's no hiding. So when you're with your friends, you're just, you know, I'm used to being able to beat up and not get beat up. So it was a rough off season, and I did my miles. And for me, it's super important to be a part of just great, not only great people, but just great solid companies that have great products. And as an athlete, that's what I love about the position that I'm in, is I get to choose, you know, love my Specialized, love my Shimano, love my Kawasaki, and it's just, you know, you get to do all the fun things. You're like a big kid in the candy store.
You could tell right there, and that's Chad Reed, and that's an interview done by the production company that he's involved with, as well as one of his bike sponsors. So honestly, you could tell right there that he's enjoying life. The life aspect of things for Chad Reed is perfect. On the track, not everything's firing on all cylinders, and honestly, if you have to have one and not the other, be happy in your life, man. I can have I'm very fortunate because my work life is great. It's not perfect, but it's pretty great. And my home life is perfect as well. I got engaged about 6 months ago. I have a beautiful fiance that loves me very much, and knowing that she's there when I go home every day is awesome. I couldn't ask for anything else. And to have that balance of your personal life and your work life working in harmony is perfect. And Chad, from the business standpoint of things, it's going good, not great, but good. Going from a personal standpoint, it's perfect. He's got a loving wife, beautiful family, and he's got a race team. So from a business aspect, from a professional standpoint, it's going good. From a personal standpoint on him, it's perfect. And that's what you need. You need to at least be happy at home in order to have a good work life, I think. And I'm fortunate where I have that. I have both of those things. And honestly, for a while there, for me, I had a really good work life going, but I had a very non-existing personal life. I was single. I would basically go home and keep working. And I was pretty much the stereotypical workaholic, and I wasn't happy. I was enjoying my work. I really was, but I was not enjoying being just not having fun, because you have to have fun in your life in order to enjoy it. And Chad does that. You could tell right there in that piece. And yeah, there was a couple of parts right there where he was talking about just how intensity and just writing and how much it takes out of you physically, that's going to wear out on you at some point. It hit him last year with an injury. He's been fortunate enough where he's made it this far, but last season he truly had a championship run going, and he got hurt, and it derailed that effort. And now this year, he doesn't look as sharp. He doesn't look as good as he had in years past. So we'll see. And he's got some of that bad boy attitude going with everything that's gone on the racetrack this year. So we'll see what happens. Ultimately, he came off of a big win. He really, truly needed that win at Atlanta this last weekend. And now that we're still in Atlanta this weekend, we'll see what happens with him. What's going to be very cool, I think, is he's going to be riding a two-stroke during opening ceremonies. Very, very cool. He actually posted a photo of it earlier today up on his Instagram page. So at CR22 on Instagram, if you want to check out that very, very cool shot of that two-stroke that he's going to be riding during opening ceremonies at CR22. You can also check it out at arnrace.com is where it's posted as well. Highly encourage you to do that. Kind of breaking news here on ARN. Kyle Busch, he has been released from the hospital. He's home tonight is what our understanding is. He's returned home from a North Carolina hospital on Friday. Busch had been hospitalized in both Florida and North Carolina after fracturing his lower right leg and breaking his left foot in an accident during last week's NASCAR Xfinity Series opening race at Daytona International Speedway. The Joe Gibbs Racing driver will continue his recovery from those injuries in his North Carolina home with no timetable to return to driving. David Reagan begins his fill-in stint for Busch and at the Joe Gibbs Racing number 18 Toyota this weekend at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and is expected to remain behind the wheel at least until early May. Something that's very interesting and something we need to think about and keep in mind here. And Samantha Busch at Samantha Busch on Twitter posted a picture of her and her husband up on Twitter with the tag 2 surgeries, 2 hospitals, 1 very long week. So grateful we finally get to go home. Thank you, God. Amen. Amen. Because truly, I'm with her on this one. Because truly, when he turned and he head toward that inside wall, I knew before he hit that wall it was going to be a bad hit. You can just tell. You can sense it. And I don't care if you hate Kyle Busch. I don't care if you love him. I really don't care. If you're a fan of racing in general, NASCAR fan or not, your heart sank when you saw that crash. You thought, oh my God, did I just watch Kyle Busch die? That was your thought process. Your thought process immediately went to Kyle. It immediately went to Samantha. It immediately went to their unborn child. Honestly, that's where I went. That's where my head was. And interestingly enough, Samantha is due with the couple's first child. Due date is around May, early May. So we'll see. I don't know. Interestingly enough, somebody asked me what's the timetable for recovery. It all depends on Kyle, how fast your body heals. But typically anywhere from 5 to 7 months for an injury like this. So best case scenario, Kyle's back for Daytona in July, but that's extremely best case scenario. But don't expect him to be back. I'm not considering him to be in a race car before Indianapolis, possibly the start of the chase, because that's the type of recovery time that you realistically need behind the wheel of these things. So it's one of those things where we'll see. That's all we can do, really, truly. So we'll end up just seeing what happens with Kyle. We wish him a speedy recovery. We're glad to see that he's back home. Seriously, bud, congratulations on coming through this okay. We hope to see you back at the racetrack very, very soon, Rowdy. Take it easy, bud. So we are going to go ahead and take our final break here. When we come back on the other side, going to talk about a number of things, mostly Brittany Force. What's it going to take for her to break through and finally get that first win? Plus, can Will Power go back-to-back with a championship in 2015? Yeah, that's next, right here on Shifting Gears on ARN.
Sick of bad race coverage or none at all from those other networks? Make ARN your one and only for all things motorsports. ARN, the Motorsports Authority.
Hey guys, it's Alan Bailey, and I wanted to tell you about when I first got started in broadcasting. Something that I tried to do was I tried to build my own website with one of these free website builders, and it was really bad. I ended up spending hours and hours working on this site, and I didn't get it the way I wanted. I hated the colors, I hated the options, I hated everything about it, but I needed a website. So reluctantly, I launched the website, and it wasn't good. I didn't get any business or any traction from it. The website was horrible. In order to put a .com on there, I had to pay all these huge fees and all these hidden fees. Once I got past all the fees, it would have been thousands and thousands of dollars for just a very simple website. So I ended up taking it offline. Fast forward years later, I called Apollo Aesthetics. When I was getting ready to build my personal website, I decided to heck with it. I'll spend the money. And I didn't care how much it was, anticipating spending thousands and thousands of dollars. And then, when I got the quote from Apollo Aesthetics, boy was I shocked, because the price was super, super low. Monthly payments with a low down payment. I gotta tell you, I've had such a pleasant experience. I'm not building any other websites. I've learned my lesson. I'm going straight to Apollo Aesthetics so they can build it right and they can do everything that I need. Whether you're looking to build a website, design a logo, figure out your hosting, your emails, and social media accounts, Apollo Aesthetics can help you with all of these, including building a shop for you to sell your product online. Log on to apolloaesthetics.com to request a quote. That's apolloaesthetics.com.
Shifting Gears on ARN is powered by Stash Feed. Get the feed. Log on to stashfeed.com to see what you've been missing and get the feed. You're shifting gears on ARN. Here's Alan Bailey.
720-600-RACE. That is 720-600-7223. Standard messaging rates apply. You can call or text on that. You can also tweet or comment at The Alan Bailey on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. You can use the hashtag ARNRace in order to get in on the conversation as well, where you can send me things like this one, which was probably my favorite text ever because it's very insightful. Quote, "No man should ever physically harm a woman. We are all stupid if we think a woman doesn't know exactly what to do or say to make her man snap and lose it for a moment. His career should not be jeopardized because of one mistake. If he was a repeat offender, then maybe. But for one incident, for all of you who disagree, stop and ask yourself, what could your mate do to physically rehabilitate? If not, answer nothing. If you're just being delusional and not realistic, if you're not coordinated it, then you should just lose his career over one incident. If another man causes you to explode in rage, then it would be easy for a woman to know exactly what to do to make him tick. Just saying, yes, he was wrong, but given a chance to make it right." Unquote. First off, I'm going to ignore all the bad words and the bad grammar and incorrect words in there and the fact that it didn't make sense. And I'm just going to go ahead and skip to the part where you think that it is truly okay for a man to snap on a woman, quote unquote. And, well, if she knows what makes him snap, she should watch what she says and not make him snap. Yeah. what in the hell gives him the right to do that? Nothing. Look, and we're talking about Kurt Busch if it's not obvious. But let me tell you this, truly. The part that just flat out pisses me off about this one is the fact that this person actually thinks that a woman is at fault for, well, the woman said that, and she knows that when she says this or does this, that, well, he's going to get angry, and then he could hit her. There's nothing okay with that. Absolutely nothing. There is nothing that a woman shouldn't say or do or should avoid saying because, quote, her man might snap. That is totally wrong. Totally wrong. How about this? I love my fiance. I've never hit her. Never hit her. There's nothing she can say to me that would enrage me to the point where I would even consider striking her, let alone doing what Kurt did, allegedly. So the fact that I'm going to not name this person because I don't want to bash this person too badly and make them feel bad, but there's no reason that you, person, should think that that's okay. Why is that okay? Same goes for a woman getting beating a man. Not okay under any circumstance. Any circumstance. Domestic violence has many, many, many forms. And the fact of the matter is, no woman should go around thinking, I can't bring up this, or I can't say this, or I can't raise my voice, or I can't say this tone because it enrages him. Yeah, I need to watch myself so he doesn't get angry, and it's my fault. That is an abuser's mentality. That's the cycle of violence right there, at its best. And I'm not an expert on domestic violence by any stretch of the imagination, but call me crazy, but when everything crazy started happening with the NFL and everything going on over there with Ray Rice and everything, I looked into it. I sought out experts, and I talked to them off the air to try to understand this issue because I don't understand it. I'm not a person who lives in a domestic violence situation. I'm not a violent person myself, so I'm not going to go around and just start assuming I know things. The fact of the matter is, if you don't know something, seriously, send me a message saying, I don't know this, what is the answer to this? But don't send me these texts and these emails saying, oh, she shouldn't have set him off, it's her fault. No, but let me ask you this. NASCAR was in the right. Totally in the right for suspending Kurt Busch. And if you missed it, NASCAR dropped a bombshell last weekend, right after the show, oddly enough, that basically NASCAR suspended Kurt Busch indefinitely for the charges of domestic violence. I have absolutely no problem with that. None whatsoever. The only thing that I have a problem with is the fact that NASCAR kind of sat on this for a while. They waited until really after the dual races in order to make this announcement and make it official. That's not fair to Kurt. That's not fair to Kurt's sponsors. That's not fair to Stewart-Haas Racing. That's not fair to the race fans. And it's extraordinarily disrespectful to women. I'm sorry. It's extremely disrespectful to them, and it's extremely disrespectful for anyone who's ever been a victim of domestic violence. That NASCAR stood around and went, well, I'll see what happens. And then right when the judge said, I don't know yet. I haven't made my decision, but I think he did it. I'm not too sure. NASCAR said, oh, okay. He's suspended. We'll suspend him. It makes sense. Seriously? I mean, seriously, NASCAR? Ay. Honestly, my open letter this week is once again going to you, NASCAR. Dear NASCAR, seriously, I have one word for you. Consistency. You need to consistently be consistent. Right now, you're consistently inconsistent. That's not cool. How could you wait this long to suspend Kurt Busch when you knew it was a possibility? Did you not learn anything from Roger Goodell and the NFL? Brian, seriously? How could you do this? I mean, I know that you love jelly donuts and you grabbed them 2 at a time as a kid, just like your hero, Tommy Boy, but seriously, enough is enough. You seriously need to get a grip on reality. Get out of your own wallet and try to find some realistic value in what's going on in the world. Domestic violence is a huge hot button topic. It's a huge issue, and the fact of the matter is that it will always be a hot button topic. You need to be better than the NFL if you're truly going to beat them in the ratings, even though you can't, and you truly need to get ahead of the curve. Instead, you're 5 seconds behind everybody else, just like every other aspect of your business. And in case you're wondering, I'm talking about NASCAR, not the one that owns all the racetracks. Also, you need to seriously consider a rule change sooner rather than later. I know you changed the rules and basically said if you are convicted, you're out, but seriously. And under this set of rules, if someone gets a speeding ticket, they could be banned for life. How many tickets have you gotten, Brian? How many times have you done something stupid, Brian? Seriously? You need to get a grip because NASCAR is better than that, and it's time that it reflects it. Now, go fix some walls, add some safer barriers, and amend some rules. No, Kurt shouldn't be automatically reinstated, but work with the guy and see if he wants to be back in NASCAR. Hopefully he will, and hopefully you can put this behind you very soon. But right now, you seem very ignorant and stupid, and clearly the world has caught you with your pants down behind on this situation. Sincerely yours, Alan Bailey, ARN. Am I talking gibberish? I feel like I'm talking gibberish sometime on this show. And I'm not saying that I need to get a grip, but seriously. Seriously. I also like this Facebook comment from Mike Harper on Facebook. This came in right after the 500 on Sunday. Breaking news, Joey Logano fired by Joe Gibbs Racing, wins Daytona 500 with Penske. Yeah, I like that a lot. I thought that was very, very, very funny. Very cool. I'm very happy for the guy. I truly am. I think he could be a little less arrogant at times, but honestly, I truly, truly think that it's really great for his career. Congratulations, Joey Logano and Penske Racing for the 500. But nevertheless, we're already in Atlanta. It's time to get things rolling. Qualifying is underway, by the way, for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series on Fox Sports 1. Brett Moffitt in that number 55, substituting for Brian Vickers, who should be back in that car next weekend at Las Vegas, atop the speed charts, but only 7 cars have taken time. And just so we're clear, David Reagan is in the 18 car for the injured Kyle Busch. Regan Smith is in the 41 for the suspended Kurt Busch for the near future. And Joe Nemechek is in the 34 for David Reagan, who is in the 18. David Rudiman would have been in the 34, but he forgot to update his NASCAR license. You have to do that every year. You have to take a physical, and you have to basically fill out paperwork. He didn't do that in January, so he can't race for a little while, actually, until he renews that darn thing, and he has yet to renew it. One would think, maybe, just maybe, you might want to do that. He has yet to. Don't know how I feel about that. Yeah. I promised you a Will Power story, and I promised you a couple stories, actually, and I'm going to get to them very, very quickly here because we're very low on time here. So can Will Power go back-to-back in the Verizon IndyCar Series this year as far as the championship's concerned? Yes. That's a big yes, and I think he will, actually, because he got the pressure of the first one out of the way. Now it's not a question of when are you going to win one, when are you going to win one, when are you going to win one. Now it's a question of what do you have to do to win this championship, not What do you have to do to finally win a championship? When are you going to finally win a championship? You haven't won a championship. You finished second a bunch of times. When are you going to win that championship? Hey, Will, you haven't won a championship yet. Will, when are you going to win a championship? You haven't won a championship yet, Will. Seriously, why haven't you won a championship? Why? When are you going to win a championship? You need to win a championship. He hasn't won a championship. He's not that good. He hasn't won a championship. That's what he was hearing. And now all that noise is gone. Gone. That's a huge confident booster. And, you know, having that trophy in your collection, not that bad. Not that bad either. As far as Brittany Force is concerned, I promise you a Brittany Force story. We'll have that next week because I truly hate cramming information here at the latter part of the show. I think it's very rookie-ish, and I hate it a lot, so I'm simply not going to do that. I'm going to give you the full story on next week's episode of Shifting Gears. Keep an eye on AirNRace.com. Not sure when the show's going to be. It's either going to be on Thursday or Friday from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Not sure yet, but keep an eye on AirNRace.com for more information. On behalf of everyone here at Shifting Gears and the American Racing Network, for our production staff, I'm Alan Bailey for Turn 4 Media, and for ARN, we'll see ya at the track.
You've been listening to the American Racing Network, a Turn for Media company. This is ARN, the Motorsports Authority.